Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Week 7's Sunday nominations episode of Big Brother 27. Last time on Big Brother, Rachel's HOH reign came to a close when Mickey won the blockbuster, leading to Riley being sent home to his bull. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on my recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. You can also use my link to try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it, starting with an episode of BB Unlocked, which I guess got such bad ratings that it's being forced upon us on Sunday. And Boston Rob is a special guest who has obviously never seen the show before, but somehow Rob has better takes about the show than Derek. But through this, we got to meet Gwen, Will's chocolate drop. She's so cute. Honestly, chocolate drop Gwen for BB28, and I mean that from my heart. She gets emotional watching clips of Will with their family. And Nicole Franzel announces that she and Victor are having another baby. Okay, Nicole, with child. Finally, we get to the real Sunday show, which picks back up where we left off. It's Thursday night. Riley was just evicted, and it's time for his funeral. Catherine is upset. She's pissed and ready for revenge on the players who voted for Riley. Mickey voted for her friend Riley to leave, to keep Morgan, even though she feels Morgan is distracted by her friendship with Vince. Rachel's happy that she had a big week as HOH, getting out a big target. So many players are upset. Keanu just lost his best friend. Ava says she felt pressured by Rachel to vote Riley out. Vince felt like he had no good decision between Riley and Morgan, and thinks he had no way to avoid making a side of the house mad. He feels like Kat, Lauren, and Kelly won't be able to forgive him for voting out Riley. Vince is in the judges' alliance with Rachel, Morgan, Ashley, and Will, but he doesn't feel like he can really trust them. Vince is even still weeping after a commercial break, now crying to Keanu. He tells Keanu that Riley was planning to nominate Keanu, with flashbacks that say that really did happen. Vince is trying to justify voting Riley out by creating alibis for himself. Keanu eats this up, and Keanu tells Rachel that their final two alliance is still on, even though his friend went home on her HOH. Ashley is annoyed by Mickey, who's already going around complaining about the eviction and complaining about Rachel. Ashley and Will run this right back to Rachel. They like Mickey as a person, but don't want to work with her in the game anymore. Catherine and Lauren try to convince Keanu that Rachel is a huge threat in the game and that she's running the house, which makes Keanu second guess his alliance with Rachel. Players head to the backyard for the HOH comp. Morgan's been talking about doing the wall comp for weeks. She's so excited to get on that wall for the endurance competition. They're on the Mystere Express. Conductor Rachel tells them there's a murderous scoundrel that's taken over the train. They need to hold on as long as they can. The first three players out will be have-nots. You know, have-nots, which haven't been mentioned on the show in 6 weeks since the premiere, despite many house guests starving and suffering in the meantime. They get started, cold rain pouring into their gargles. They even pass by the Loch Ness Monster, and Nessie sneezes on them. Kelly says this isn't the first time she's hung onto the side of a train, with no further context. What the hell, Kelly? Will and Ashley fall first, followed by Morgan, who takes a hard fall. So those three will be have-nots. How much do you want to bet them being have-nots will never be mentioned again on this program? Players get blasted by blueberries. Mickey must be allergic. The blueberries take her out. Ava falls next. I was impressed that Ava lasted this long. It comes down to Vince and everyone he just betrayed in the vote. Kelly's loving eating the pink slime. She's hanging from the challenge and stretching, but falls mid-stretch, followed by Keanu. Lauren makes a very dancerly effort on the way down, and it all comes down to Vince and Catherine. Catherine doesn't even want to talk to Vince to make a deal after he voted for Riley, but Catherine falls, making Vince the next HOH, and the first two-timer of the season. Vinny the Lip, more like Vinny two-time. Tune into the feeds for more two-timing. Rachel's worried because she nominated Vince last week, and she doesn't know if he's going to stay loyal to the Judges Alliance. Vince tells Keanu that he wants Mickey to be the target this week. Keanu proposed that Vince nominates Rachel and targets Rachel. Keanu tells us if Rachel goes home, he's going to be like, oopsie doopsie. Vince promises Morgan that he'll never evict her, and Morgan gives Vince her blessing to nominate Mickey, as Morgan has lost so much trust in Mickey, especially knowing that Mickey was considering voting Morgan out over Riley. They consider nominating Rachel, but Morgan is all about the Judges Alliance and doesn't want him to nominate her. Vince holds his meetings. He's happy he's still in good with one of his many final twos, Lauren. Lauren likes the idea of nominating Mickey, Ava, and Rachel. Vince tells Catherine he's not nominating her, which makes her feel a little bit better, but she still doesn't trust him. Talking with Mickey, Vince tells her he heard that targeting Vince and Zach was her idea. She says she has nothing to do with them being targeted, with flashbacks to Will actually throwing these names out there. Vince rattles off other reasons that she's a threat and that he's nominating her. Mickey tries to explain herself, but Vince isn't buying it. He meets with Rachel and Keanu. Rachel quickly shuts down any notion of him nominating her. She tells us Vince better think twice before starting a war with her. One-on-one, Keanu again tells Vince that he should nominate Rachel. Vince is considering nominating Kelly instead of Rachel. He tries to get Kelly to volunteer again, but she's not down this time. She actually calls him out for constantly dogging her time and time again. He tries to convince her that he's nominating her so she can win the blockbuster. Oh, what an opportunity opportunity. She seems heartbroken over this conversation. Vince continues to waffle all the way up to nominations. At the ceremony, Vince nominates Ava, who nominated him in the past, Mickey, his target, and Kelly, his pawn and friend, who he's a horrible friend to. In the end, I feel like Vince landed on the right nominations. There were justifications for all three. I don't mind safe nominations. I'm more excited to see the outcome of the veto and what the final nominations will be coming into Thursday. I really hope we're not ending up worried for Rachel on the live show. Out of these noms, I'm ready for Kelly to go. She's not bringing anything, and I would love to know why she was hanging from a train. And is that why a train hit Becky? But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you felt about Vinny the Lip winning HOH and his nominations. Who are you hoping goes on Thursday? If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back Wednesday to recap the veto episode. Until then, you know where to find me. Bye.